Dale Wolfhard. We're back on Heat 5. We've got a lot of races ahead of us. We're going to start with Atlanta today. I'm thinking we're going to do 4 races per episode. That seemed to be how many we got before, and that's evenly divisible by 36. 36 is evenly divisible by 4 at least. So we're probably going to be going at Atlanta, Homestead, Texas, and Bristol. It should be a pretty decent lineup here. To recap, at Daytona we placed 8th. We won at Vegas, placed 11th at Auto Club, and we placed a pretty poor 16th at Phoenix. But we've got Atlanta ahead of us, and I assume that all my settings are just as they should be, but I don't know. Let's get this race started. So yeah, this is going to go. We've got a lot ahead of us. It's still going to be another long while before we're going to be seeing any more, any more of anything. We've got a lot to do. But this group of 4 here should be pretty decent. I think this will be a pretty good grouping. Atlanta, I don't know. I mean, they're all intermediate, so I should do okay. But I don't expect to be doing fantastic. And then, I keep trying to clear my throat. There's nothing there, but it feels like there is. Alright, but yeah, we've got a lot. Alright, I gotta stop saying that. Have you guys noticed how often I say the same thing over and over again? I'm just trying to fill the air by actually speaking. But it's not really working, because I just sit here and speak words over and over again, even though there's no reason to. Alright, let's get this started, shall we? We're going to see a practice go straight to qualifying, as I always do. Not edit my setup at all. I might want to edit it, though. Can I edit it? I cannot. Maybe I can. Can I edit it in here? No. Alright. So this is my first video on NASCAR Heat 5 since 21 came out. I made a few videos on NASCAR 21. I'd assume everyone who's watching this has watched that, since those 2 videos actually did pretty well. But yeah, that game is no good. Absolutely no good. Championship race is probably at the time of release, it's going to be tomorrow. Although I'm recording this on Friday. But it should be going up on Saturday, so it should be so the race should be happening tomorrow, and I'm pretty I'm not terribly excited about it. To be honest, my expectations are pretty low. I think it's almost certainly going to be a disappointing result. I mean, I don't really care for any of the 4 drivers in the Championship 4. Larson's probably the closest too. I'm starting to lighten up on Chase Elliott a bit. I used to Hartman him a lot, but I'm starting to kind of like him. Oh, that's not going to be good. Ooh, that's real bad. But, if I can fucking clear my throat properly this time. Wow, that's rough. I'm gonna make it one bit. I think I did, when I first ran that, did I do 2 or 1? I want to say I did 2. I really should have, done that there, but whatever. So, yeah, whoops. I'm gonna do that. I think that's what I did the last time, because Ohio complains a lot about this track being very loose, so I corrected it, and I seem to do pretty damn good at that race. So hopefully this will help us a little bit after that qualifying lap, but it might just screw me over. Maybe I should have done 1, maybe I should have done 3 instead of 2. We'll see. Anyway, I'm just gonna skip that, even though I'm supposed to say it aloud, but whatever. I was a little bit loose, though. I can tell I was getting a little bit slidey. But I am starting to lighten up on Chase Elliott a bit, and that blocks my mirror. That's kind of a problem. Okay, I gotta write down what games make me change the taskbar. It seems only really racing games have anything in the way there. Fallout has a little thing there that I'm like, Okay, that turn did feel a little bit better. But yeah, not having my mirror is probably going to get in the way. Oh, Boyer's loose. Didn't send him out, but he was thinking about it, that's for damn sure. Ooh. I guess I can actually, I can change that midstream. I'll change it in the backstretch here. Try and do it as quick as I can. I think I can. I should be able to change it. So I should write that down. That I need it. It needs to be. Oh Lord! So I don't have to do it. Get it done. Alright, now it should be out of my way. There we go. In most games, it's better to have it there. Oh, fuck. We got around. I don't believe there are cautions here. I'm just getting sent around, but it's only 2 laps in, so... Not gonna let that stand. Let's try this again. Fortunately, we only got like 2 laps in, so it's not really that big of a deal for me to be out that quick. I'm totally fine with getting knocked out within like 5 laps, because I mean you can make up the time decently quick. It's just okay. I don't know what's going on here. I'm slow. Oh, he got sent, and I got sent. Okay, it seems this curb is real deadly though, from the looks of it. Yeah. So I really got to distance myself from that curb. Maybe try to stay on the outside lane. Not that that really works at Atlanta, but or at any track for me at least. I can't run the outside on anything. If I don't have that inside lane to oversteer into, then I'm just not gonna have a good time. So I'm on controller, in case I haven't mentioned that before, and obviously, you know, controller just handles differently. It's a lot harder to make those delicate movements. I mean, you can get by, definitely, but NASCAR is definitely a game optimized for a wheel, which is ironic, seeing as 21 barely even accepts it. I mean, you can't even really use it on there. But, just in case you were wondering from those NASCAR 21 videos, yeah, they're not standard. They're standard. That game is already done. I've already refunded it. I refunded it before it even fully released. I do not plan on making any videos on it because I don't own it anymore. So, just bear that in mind. Like, I mean, I might eventually, but as of right now, I have no plans to do anything of the sort. It's just not really in my. Maybe someday, maybe with NASCAR 22. But I don't know if I'm willing to put any more money in NASCAR 21 at this point. Even if it does improve, I think we'll just wait and see how the finished product is next year. So once it's released, you know, see if they have their shit together. Anyway, we're not gaining too terribly quickly. This might be one of my worst spots here. I've still got a decent amount of laps to try and catch back up, but I really got to stay off of that line, because I almost immediately run into it. Definitely still a little bit slidey, but I think making the car a little bit tighter was probably worth my while. This is definitely a track you need to run tight. The curb really bounces you. You're pretty loose bouncing off that curb, which is also pretty bad for other drivers, because they also have to worry about that quite a bit. A little bit of contact there, because I was just on my way. I'd already done that, but I wasn't able to properly save it. Yeah, I can already tell this is going to be a pretty poor race. It might be the difficulty I put it on. Maybe I set it at a higher difficulty before today's race. But it could also just be Atlanta, maybe I'm rusty, who knows. We'll try next track, because this track isn't exactly an average track. This isn't a very good representation. I can almost run it hammer down. I think I might have to let off a little bit in entry, but it seems For the rest of the turn, I can pretty much run a hammer down. Oh, yeah, no, I totally can run a hammer down. I just got to be careful to stay off of that curb there as I go with the grass. Really killing that run that I got on Wallace. I will someday, if I can, I will try to get a career mode on NASCAR 05. I would do a 4, I know a lot of people like 04, and 04 is my favorite NASCAR game, but its campaign is not as good in my opinion. It's just a lot tougher. NASCAR 05 streamlined the process and has the series to go through, whereas 04 is just Cup. But if I can find out some way to record that, I absolutely will. It might be an in the future thing. It's not going to happen just yet. But, yeah, this Championship 4 is not looking particularly interesting. It's, 2 Gibbs cars and 2 Hendrick cars, which, to be honest, I don't know what else one would really expect. I mean, you might see, Stewart-Haas had kind of a down year. I mean, Custer got a win, I think, last year. Yeah, last year or this year, but he's capable of winning, but he hasn't really proven to be anything other than the stray winner. He hasn't quite reached the level of young gun like Brian Blaney or Chase Elliott. He's still, he could be capable in the equipment he's got. Kevin Harvick looks like he's coming back next season, but this season was pretty bad for him, and last season ended pretty bad. I mean, he still made the playoffs and he had a very good 2020, but it just ended pretty poorly. Okay, that's not good. Oh, way wide there. And I mean, the other who else is on that team? Let's see. Almirola's, kind of an inconsistent old guy. He'll get the job done. He'll perform okay, but he's going to be a early playoff elimination with maybe a win. Not likely to. And then there's who's the newest guy? Briscoe, who has shown really just about nothing. That high point scheme is kind of nice though. So other than that, he really has not proven himself at all, so it's hard to really say anything about him just yet. Alright, we got 2 to go here at Atlanta. Not a good race, it's looking like. Only 17 and a 40. But, I don't know, I mean, Stewart-Haas has just kind of had a down year this year. Penske had actually a pretty good season with, both. I think all 3 drivers might have done actually pretty decently. And then, Cindric, I believe, had a part-time ride this season, too. White flag here. Let's try, there's nothing we can really do at this point other than just try to avoid fucking it up. Speak of the devil, I immediately hit the wall trying to avoid the curb. The track seems a lot smaller when you're trying to avoid things. But Kevin Harvick is going to win the race here. Kind of ironic. I was just talking about how he didn't. Hasn't. So he's going to win the race here at Atlanta. And I am going to place a pretty tough 17th. This championship season's not looking particularly interesting. 99. Man. So, let's take a look-see here at that final round. Good on Harvick for beating Busch and Truex. Newman was up there. I think he was leading in the early stages of the race, but he fell behind a little bit. Hamlin, Byron, Blaney, Logano, Busch, Kenseth, Dillon, Johnson, Reddick, Rowland, Buescher, Elliott. And I am sitting just outside of the playoff cutout line in a single race. Obviously, it doesn't mean a whole lot. And it looks like Ryan Preece didn't have a great race on him either. Step's not really important. So, looking at the point standings, Kyle Busch still sits in first. Kurt Busch. Wow. Kyle Kurt, that's interesting. By a decently sizable margin, and he's only 1 point away from Denny Hamlin. So this is actually very similar. Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Truex. I think Busch was just on the cutoff line, so it's Hamlin and Truex. But then we have Elliott way down here, and I don't remember who the other guy was. Was he in there? Ken's at this, or the 5 car's not in this game. And it sucks for a lot of Larson fans who can't play as Kyle Larson in the newest NASCAR game because it sucks so bad. Alright. So, still doing well in point standings, but that was definitely not a good race for us. I might have to adjust the difficulty, but first I'm just going to let it roll, I guess. My bets are on Larson. I think everybody's bets are on Larson. But, I mean, the playoff race can be kind of surprising on occasion. I mean, I didn't expect Elliott to win last year. Good on him. I mean, let me discuss, I guess, my kind of turnaround with Elliott. Because towards the beginning, I mean, when I started really getting in, when I started really getting into NASCAR in about 2017, that was something of a formative year. Kevin Harvick's win at Sonoma kind of solidified him as my favorite driver. I always liked him, but for some reason that win in particular just convinced me. I mean, Truex, my hatred for... Not hatred for Truex. To be honest, I don't really mind him anymore, but he still drives a Toyota, and he still drives for good Joe Gibbs. At least when he was driving for Furniture Row. I mean, that was local. 3 top 10s. I think I can pull that off. Dixie Vodka 400 at Homestead, Miami. I feel like we just raced that fairly recently in this year's schedule, but what do I know? But, I mean, Chase Elliott was brand new to the Cup Series in that year, I believe. Good Lord. It's already been that long. And he was driving the 24. I never really cared for Hendrick. I mean, I liked... I didn't really care for Jimmy Johnson. Didn't care for Jeff Gordon, although at that point it was then Chase Elliott, who I had no real attachment to, because I'm not even sure if I knew he was son of Bill Elliott at that point. He was just this new guy everyone was talking about. And so in such a formative year, hearing about him all the time, but also he didn't really put out any results for a couple of years, until I believe 2019. I think 2019 was his first race. So it was about 2 years, or first race win. This is about 2 years where he had a lot of hype, but not really a whole lot of results, especially on a team that's as well funded as Hendrick's been. Although Hendrick had kind of been on its downward slope in 2017 and 18. Those weren't great years for Hendrick. 2019 was something of an improvement, and 2020 and 2021 have been great for him. Gonna run the regular setup. I don't know. Ultimately, it just kind of didn't really do a whole lot for him. But I don't know. I didn't end up really liking the guy. I don't like the guy that I hear everything about. You know, I mean, obviously you want to root for somebody who at least can succeed. But I don't know. I just couldn't really get attached to him. But as time has gone on, and he's spent some time in the Cup Series, he's become somewhat of an interesting guy. He was kind of flat and boring for his first couple of years, but lately, at least this year and the last year, becoming a champion, that puts a lot of respect on your name that you wouldn't have had before. And, just kind of just becoming more, having rivalries with drivers. I mean, his rivalry with Harvick was actually decently funny for me, even. I mean, I like Harvick, but man, that was embarrassing on Harvick's part. He's the old guy of the series. He's the guy with all the respect, and then Elliott, this young, fresh champion to come here and just, push him a little bit. It was pretty interesting. 14th, that one was better. I think Atlanta just is kind of a rougher track for me. That did feel like a better lap, though, too. Speak of Chase Elliott, he's sitting in 12th. This time, your points leader Kyle Busch is sitting in 9th, with Kurt sitting in 8th. Joey Logano is going to get the pole here, and Harvick is not going to have quite as good of a race today. Do I want to change anything? I think my car was running pretty decently. I think I'll stick to what I got. Homestead, Miami, Speedway. Eric Jones just doesn't look like himself. His times are slower than normal. Eric Almirola isn't nearly as fast as expected. He's been fighting out their car all weekend. Joey Logano opens the race in first place. For some reason, it doesn't display it. So it looks like this is supposed to be a night race, which is strange because it's dawn, and it's going to be dawn the whole time. It's not going to get a whole lot darker because of how short the race is. But let's continue discussing Elliott here. So, I mean, his schemes have always been pretty sharp, although they haven't really been very noteworthy to me. You know, I think I don't know. Oh fuck! I might be a little loose, or I might have just gotten into Harvick there. That might be it. When it comes to Harvick, or sorry, when it comes to Elliott, well, actually, to be honest, in terms of the championship, I'm kind of pushing for. I don't know who exactly to push for. I mean, obviously, I want to push for the Hendrick guys. I do not want any Toyotas to be winning. But, Chase Elliott, I mean, being a two-time champion, 2 in a row, would be a pretty big deal. Especially for Young Guns, because Young Guns have been getting quite the reputation lately for not being all that. So, having Elliott win 2 years in a row would be quite something. At the same time, Kyle Larson has had an absolutely dominant season. He's easily the most deserving for the championship. That much I can say with confidence. Way into him. So, Larson, at the same time, Larson's also not a champion. Generally, I prefer to see first-time winners. If none of my drivers have a chance, I'd prefer to generally see a first-time winner rather than a repeat winner, unless it is of particular significance, like a 4th championship or something to that effect. I was rooting for Blaney once it became pretty clear to me that Harvick wasn't going to get very far. Mostly just towards the end of the round of 6 or 12. I am not performing too well. I am all over the damn track. But, generally I think that, okay, I definitely should have ran this tighter, and I thought I should, but, it didn't seem that big of a deal in qualifying the race because I wasn't paying enough attention. So maybe I just generally need to run tighter. Maybe I'll start running like a practice lap or 2, just to be sure of my car. Especially because I can't change it mid-race. But I mean, Larson, would be a first-time champion. He's also been absolutely dominant this season, and I think a lot of people would be pretty damn happy if he did win. Especially because he's got something of a comeback story, being fired last season. And regardless of what you may think of it, But at the same time, both of the drivers are Hendrick drivers, and to be honest, success as a Hendrick driver doesn't mean nearly as much as it does on some other teams. Because Hendrick, pretty much since 2019, has been pretty damn consistent. Pretty much across the board. I mean, Hendrick as a whole has had a great season. I mean, this easily could have been a championship of just Hendrick. I mean, really, William Byron was the only guy to not really have a great year. But I mean, Alex Bowman got a few races, including one, I believe, in either the round of 8 or the round of 12. So, I mean, he's had a good season as himself, too. So, I don't know. Overall, I don't know about it. I really don't. I just think, I don't know. If it's Chase Elliott, I'm not going to be too upset. If it's Kyle Larson, I'm not going to be too upset either. The only reason I really wouldn't want to see Kyle Larson win is just because I'm kind of tired of seeing his name. I'm just kind of tired of seeing him. That was terrible. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know. There's no one really to root for here. It's 4 drivers that are all pretty good. There's no real underdogs here, technically. I don't know. I think either of those 200 drivers are pretty deserving. I wouldn't be too upset. But of course, if it's a Gibbs driver, it's a whole different story, so I don't care for either of them. I mean, Truex has already won. Hamlin has not won, despite having as storied of a career as he's had. He has not seen one, and I would frankly prefer it to remain that way. Although it'd probably be very good for his racing team. Although frankly, Michael Jordan's probably okay. Sorry, Harvick. Oh, I'm loose as hell. I should have tightened my car a lot. Now we got to kind of battle a bit here because we don't want to lose that 10th place. We need that. Damn, I'm loose so I can pause it. Cut this one a little bit short here because I have something to do, and of course I'm losing a lot of position. That was not good at all. Dropped all the way to qualifying position, and I am still just incredibly loose here. I'm not getting any better here. Well, that sucked. I absolutely lost it on that one. Are my tires wearing? Oh, they are. Why the hell is tire wear on? That is absolutely useless for this quick of races. And 14th. So we pretty much finished exactly where we started. That definitely could have went a lot better. Speed rating probably decently low, 97. I guess that's fine. Winner is Keselowski. Chase Elliott bounced all the way up to second, but wasn't able to really capitalize, I guess. I don't know. And also, I like how much shit I'm talking on Hendrick, despite being on Hendrick Motorsports. I just remembered that I'm driving the 88 car. So that put us actually way back in standings. We almost dropped by 5 positions there, which is not what you want to see. So, unfortunately, I do have to cut this one short. I am going to see if it's possible for me to edit both of the videos together. I want to record both of these and then edit them together. So I will be streaming again when I get back, and I'm going to see if I can combine the two videos. But for now, I'm going to leave it here. I will be back, everybody.